Have you ever wondered why you can't resist checking your phone for new notifications, even when you're in the middle of something important? Well, the answer lies in a tiny, yet powerful chemical that resides in our brains called dopamine. This remarkable neurotransmitter is like the maestro conducting the orchestra of our behaviors and decisions. Dopamine is produced in several areas of the brain, including the substantia nigra and the ventral tegmental area. It's a bit like a courier, delivering messages between neurons, the nerve cells that transmit signals in our brain. This exchange of messages is fundamental to our ability to think, plan, and feel. Now, dopamine is synonymous with pleasure, but that's a bit of an oversimplification. It's not so much about pleasure itself, but about the anticipation of pleasure. Think of it as the wanting or desire chemical. It's the reason you feel a rush of excitement when your favorite song comes on, or the anticipation you feel before opening a gift. Dopamine also plays a significant role in motivation. It's the fuel that drives us to achieve our goals, big or small. It's what gets us out of bed in the morning, eager to take on the day. It's what keeps us going when we're on a roll, whether we're working on a project, playing a sport, or even just cleaning the house. However, our relationship with dopamine is a delicate balancing act. Too little, and we might struggle to get motivated. Too much, and we might find ourselves seeking constant stimulation, unable to focus on the task at hand. That's why it's crucial to understand how dopamine works, so we can harness its power for our benefit. In the digital age, our dopamine levels are constantly being tested. The ping of a new message, the allure of an endless scroll, the thrill of a video game, these are all designed to tap into our dopamine pathways, keeping us hooked and coming back for more. So, it's clear that dopamine is a powerful force in our lives. But what exactly does it do? Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the world of dopamine in the next scene. Now that we know what dopamine is, let's delve deeper into how it affects our daily lives. Dopamine, often known as the feel-good neurotransmitter, is a key player in our brain's reward system. When we do something enjoyable, like eating a delicious dessert or winning a game, our brain releases dopamine. This release provides a sense of satisfaction and pleasure, reinforcing the desire to repeat the behavior that led to the reward. But dopamine isn't just about feeling good. It's intricately tied to our motivation and drive. You see, when we anticipate a reward, our brain also releases dopamine. This anticipation drives us to take action to achieve the reward. So whether it's studying for an exam to get a good grade or working out to achieve fitness goals, dopamine is that motivational push nudging us forward. However, the effects of dopamine aren't always beneficial. Let's consider addiction. Substance abuse, for instance, causes the brain to release an excessive amount of dopamine. Over time, the brain adjusts to these high levels, leading to tolerance. That means the person needs to consume more of the substance to experience the same high. This cycle can lead to destructive behaviors and a decreased ability to feel pleasure from normally enjoyable activities. Dopamine also plays a significant role in our habits and behaviors. It's like our brain's personal trainer, encouraging us to repeat actions that have previously led to rewards. This can be beneficial when it comes to healthy habits like regular exercise or a balanced diet, but it can also reinforce negative behaviors. Ever found yourself mindlessly scrolling through social media or binge-watching shows late into the night, even when you know you should be doing something more productive? That's dopamine at work, urging you to continue the behavior because it's associated with a reward, in this case, entertainment. In addition, dopamine affects various other aspects of our lives. It's involved in regulating mood, helping us feel happy and content. It's also key in attention and focus, enabling us to concentrate on tasks. Dopamine even plays a role in movement, with low levels linked to conditions like Parkinson's disease. So, from the pleasure we feel when biting into a piece of chocolate, to the motivation that drives us to complete a project, to the habits we form and the focus we maintain, dopamine is a constant presence, shaping our experiences and behaviors. As you can see, dopamine has a profound impact on how we engage with the world, but when is it most present in our lives? You might be surprised to learn when dopamine levels are at their highest. That's right, dopamine, our brain's reward chemical, peaks during events that bring us pleasure. But it's not just about eating a delicious meal or receiving a compliment. The surge of dopamine can be triggered by a wide array of activities, from listening to your favorite music to achieving a long-term goal. Let's take a look at some scenarios. Picture yourself on a vacation, basking under the sun on a tropical beach, or scaling the summit of a mountain. These experiences, filled with novelty and excitement, cause a flood of dopamine in your brain. This rush is what makes us feel so good, and it's what keeps us coming back for more. Now, think about the times you've achieved something significant after a period of hard work. That feeling of accomplishment, whether it's acing a difficult test or completing a challenging project, is also linked to a spike in dopamine. It seems our brains are wired to reward us for our efforts and achievements, doesn't it? And then there's the world of digital gratification. Social media likes, video game victories, binge watching your favorite series. All these activities provide instant gratification and cause dopamine to surge. However, this constant stimulation can lead to a kind of dopamine addiction, where we crave more and more of these quick hits of pleasure. But it's important to remember that dopamine is not just about pleasure. It's also closely tied to our decision-making and motivation. High dopamine levels can make us feel motivated and focused, while low levels can leave us feeling listless and uninterested. So, the presence of dopamine in our brains plays a significant role in how we approach our daily tasks and long-term goals. Dopamine's power in our lives is undeniable, but can we control it? As we navigate through the dopamine highs and lows, it's crucial to understand the balance. Too much or too little can tilt the scales, affecting our productivity and overall well-being. So stay tuned as we delve deeper into the world of dopamine and uncover ways to manage its influence in our lives. You've probably heard about detoxing from substances, but have you ever thought about detoxing from your own brain chemicals? It might sound unusual, but that's exactly what the concept of a dopamine detox is all about. In an age where we're constantly bombarded with stimuli that trigger dopamine release, from social media notifications to tantalizing food advertisements, it's no wonder that the idea of a dopamine detox is gaining traction. So, what exactly is a dopamine detox? Well, it's a period of time during which you deliberately avoid activities that typically cause a surge in dopamine. This could range from avoiding your favorite sugary treats to steering clear of your smartphone. But why would anyone willingly abstain from things they enjoy? The answer lies in the way our brains respond to dopamine. When we're constantly exposed to high levels of dopamine, our brain tries to restore balance by reducing the number of dopamine receptors. This means we need more and more of the same stimulus to feel the same level of pleasure, a phenomenon known as dopamine desensitization. This desensitization can lead to a plethora of problems, from reduced motivation to a lack of enjoyment in simple pleasures. It's like the volume on our pleasure response is turned down, and we're constantly trying to turn it back up. That's where a dopamine detox can come in handy. By reducing our exposure to high dopamine activities, we can help our brain recalibrate and restore our sensitivity to dopamine. The potential benefits of a dopamine detox are multifold. For starters, it may help us regain control over our behaviors and habits. Think about it. How often do you reach for your phone out of habit, even when you know you should be focusing on a more important task? By resetting our dopamine system, a detox could help us break free from this cycle of distraction and procrastination. Another potential benefit is improved mental well-being. If we're constantly chasing the next dopamine high, we're likely to feel stressed and dissatisfied. On the other hand, taking a step back and learning to appreciate simpler, less stimulating activities could lead to a greater sense of contentment. However, it's important to note that a dopamine detox is not a magic bullet. It's a tool that can help us understand our behaviors better and make healthier choices. It's also not about completely eliminating dopamine, as this neurotransmitter plays a crucial role in many bodily functions. Instead, it's about creating a more balanced relationship with our dopamine system and the stimuli that influence it. A dopamine detox might sound daunting, but it can be a game changer for your productivity and overall well-being. It's about gaining a deeper understanding of your brain chemistry and harnessing that knowledge to live a more fulfilling life. So, are you ready to embark on the journey of dopamine detox? So, are you ready to take back control from dopamine? Here's how you can do it. Firstly, start by reducing screen time. We live in a digital age where our screens constantly bombard us with dopamine-inducing notifications and updates. These constant stimuli can overload our dopamine system, leading to a diminished response over time. Therefore, try setting aside specific times during the day to check your phone or emails instead of constantly being on alert. You could also try implementing screen-free hours or even entire days if you're up for the challenge. Next, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the act of being fully present in the moment without judgment. This practice can help you break free from the constant need for dopamine stimulation. By focusing your attention on your breath, the sensations in your body, or the sounds around you, you can train your brain to find satisfaction in the here and now, rather than always seeking the next dopamine hit. Another critical step is prioritizing physical activities. Exercise is an excellent natural source of dopamine, and it also comes with a host of other health benefits. Try incorporating some form of physical activity into your daily routine, whether it's a brisk walk, a yoga session, or a vigorous workout. The key is to find something you genuinely enjoy, so it doesn't feel like a chore, but rather a pleasurable activity that you look forward to. Now let's talk about diet. Certain foods can spike your dopamine levels, leading to a subsequent crash. Try to maintain a balanced diet rich in lean proteins, fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, which can provide a steady supply of dopamine without the roller coaster effect. Also, drink plenty of water to keep your brain hydrated and functioning optimally. Sleep is another crucial factor. Lack of sleep can wreak havoc on your dopamine system, leading to decreased motivation and concentration. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night to allow your brain to reset and replenish its dopamine stores. Lastly, but certainly not least, is the importance of consistency and patience. A dopamine detox is not a quick fix, but a lifestyle change. It takes time for your brain to adjust to lower levels of dopamine stimulation. So, be patient with yourself and celebrate small victories along the way. Remember, a dopamine detox isn't about punishing yourself. It's about resetting your brain to appreciate the simple things in life again. So take it one step at a time, and before you know it, you'll find yourself more focused, more productive, and more in tune with the world around you. You're not only taking back control from dopamine, but you're also reclaiming control over your life. And there you have it, your guide to a successful dopamine detox. Remember, it's not about deprivation, but about balance. It's about learning to appreciate the simple joys of life again. And most importantly, it's about understanding that you are in control of your brain, not the other way around. Remember, a dopamine detox isn't about punishing yourself. It's about resetting your brain to appreciate the simple things in life again. So, we've taken a deep dive into the world of dopamine. What are the key things to remember? Let's revisit our journey. We learned that dopamine is a neurotransmitter, a chemical messenger in our brain. It plays a crucial role in how we feel pleasure and how we process reward and motivation. Dopamine is a key player in our daily lives, influencing our mood, motivation, and attention. And it's most present in our brain when we are engaged in activities that we find enjoyable or rewarding. We also discovered the effects of dopamine. It's not just about pleasure. Dopamine influences many aspects of our behavior and cognitive functions. It's involved in memory, focus, and even decision-making. However, it's crucial to remember that an excess of dopamine can lead to addictive behaviors and a lack of motivation. The peak of dopamine in our brain occurs when we are engaged in activities that we find enjoyable or rewarding. It's the excitement you feel when you're about to open a present, the thrill of a new love, or the satisfaction of a job well done. But remember, too much of a good thing can be harmful. Too much dopamine can lead to addictive behaviors and a lack of motivation. This brings us to the concept of a dopamine detox. We learned that by intentionally reducing the amount of dopamine our brain receives, we can reset our dopamine receptors, making them more sensitive and responsive. This could potentially increase our motivation and ability to get tasks done, especially those we've been procrastinating on. In essence, understanding and managing dopamine is essential for a balanced and productive life. It's about finding the right balance between indulging in dopamine-releasing activities and taking time to reset our brain. Next time you reach for your phone, remember the power of dopamine, but also remember you have the power to control it.